Hey guys, welcome to this insider video where I talk about our development process. And I'm trying to keep it brief, so it may not be as extensive as you were hoping for, but feel free to ask questions in the comments, and I'm happy to answer those. Here at Playbookify, we use a pretty standard agile scrum approach to develop our software. So it begins with typically Johan and myself gathering user feedback, interviewing users to figure out what should we build in our software. Then the second step is usually that we sit down, typically Johan will sit down with Pim and show him the first drafts of what he has been drawing up. And actually let's open a ticket here so I can give you an idea on how that looks like. So for example, we use Adobe XD for that. So in Adobe XD, the entire UX and UI is created, so that the developers don't have to think about what font, what size, what location, what measurements. It's all here, and in fact they can just go in here and inspect and even copy the variables over here straight into Servoy, which Servoy is a pretty elegant way in allowing you to quickly copy and paste style sheets back and forth. So once this is initially high level done by Johan, then Pim fine-tunes it as a UX specialist, and then the user story is created. So to give you an idea of this story, let's go back to the story. The story here is, let's see if we can get back easier. That's it. We try to keep the stories short but as descriptive as possible. So as a user, I want to be able to make my playbook publicly visible for everyone with a link, so that I can share the playbook with anyone. Acceptance criteria: be able to create a public link, be able to copy the public link, be able to disable the public link. So let's say you made a public playbook, but now you don't want it to be public anymore. Then the UX is created, so then we could dive into the UX here and see by simply going and clicking on it. So let me turn this off again. Click on share. It has this link, and then we can copy the link, and then we can close this out, and that's really the whole story. That's all there is to it. So once this is done and clear in a sprint meeting, I will plan this with the development team. So in a sprint meeting, let's see here if we can get back to the ticket. In a sprint meeting, I will describe the story and then show the UX if necessary, and then the team, we use Planning Poker. Use a plugin in Jira for that. We will give it points. So this story got 3 points as an estimate, and then after the story is done, we also try to do some time tracking so that we can start figuring out what our velocity is. So that's typically the process. Story comes in with the team. We plan all of the stories in a sprint, and then the team develops it. And we have 5 developers going in the team right now. Some are part-time, like Victor, who is a Servoy specialist. He helps us with the tough things. For our IDE, we use Servoy. Servoy enables us to develop a software 5 to 10 times quicker than if you do this from scratch in React or in Angular, and then you need a whole bunch of backend tools as well. Servoy is your all-in-one. So it has the backend stuff, it has the front-end stuff, and everything in between. And we deploy to Servoy Cloud. So let's pretend that I was programming now. Then when I'm done, I go to source tree, and then I can see here what are my outstanding changes that I have locally. I have a bunch of packages that I've been updating, and I can commit them to a certain branch. We have currently 3 branches going on. We're probably going to add one more, staging one, so that we can first push to develop, do some dev testing there. This could be bigger projects that may not make it in this sprint. Then we're going to introduce a new branch, staging. So from once we feel the ticket is done, we'll push it into staging, where some additional testing is done. And then once every 2 weeks at the moment, maybe we're going to increase that, we go live. So we push the staging changes all to production. So our sprints are 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, as you can see here on the right-hand side, we get quite a few bits done. And this is really thanks to, well, having a great development team. We were very lucky in how quickly we found great guys. But also because of the productivity of Servo. If you look here at the amount of let's go here to develop, for example. If you look at the amount of, let's switch this branch. The amount of commits, you see the first one here on January 28 is when our first code was ever committed. And then if you look at all the stuff that's been tested and developed and going on, we've already done more than 165 tickets so far, some stories, some bugs, some issues, but still the productivity level is quite impressive in what we are achieving. Combination of good team and picking the right platform. If anybody wants to see this a bit more in action, please let us know in the comments, or if you want something specific to be more explained, then feel free to reach out. So that's it, a brief overview of our development process, from thinking about the story to then planning it, to then developing it with the team, testing it, and then moving to production. Enjoy.